I'm glad you could make it. Greetings and Jolantru. Kiba Azuan. Welcome to this Star Trek Online Starship visual review. I'm Captain Ri'shad, aka the Renegade, and this, well, this will be a 3-stage review process. We'll take a look at the fine details, customization options, and then, well, possible vanity shields you can have on this ship. I will note that the primary point of this is just the visual space Barbie and beauty of the World Razer herself. The others are just what I consider extras that can bolster or bring a ship's aesthetic look up. There will be things I will criticize on, and will be things that I compliment. But one thing's for certain, he whose name I cannot say, so shall be on screen right now, well, this individual is a magnificent artist, and I love what they did when it came to taking an already well-defined concept and twisting it and creating an amalgamation that definitely says we are the same, but we are different. Much as the Confederation, because a safer galaxy is a human galaxy. That's so fucking wrong. Let's get on with this, shall we? And I guess the most important things to look at, first of all, because it's quick and easy to cover, is special vanity aesthetics that you get with this ship. Side note, when we take a look at the console here, or should I say the console's visual, there's one thing I will definitely say. Anyone think Locutus or believe that you need to put the deflector back on that secondary hull just so, well, back on the battle/engineering hull in order to get the proper visual aesthetic of the console? Cryptic, I love what you did, but in the case of this one console, making it come from the deflector was a good choice since it's on the Galaxy class, which doesn't have a lance. But maybe program it to come in from the deflector, because when we get to the vanity shield side of things, and I put the Borg or an optional vanity shield vanity aesthetic onto the deflector, I don't want to see it down there on the engineering hull. But let's go, shall we? Let's do this. Case in point, I need to get moving first of all. Ooh. Probably a little bit too quick. Now, for those wondering, the first test is of the new obliviating phasers. They have the same sound aesthetic as the pulse phasers and a very similar look. Currently firing is the obliviating phasers. Now, pulse. Do you see the aesthetic difference? Yes, I'm moving back to try and keep these guys behind. I think the aesthetic difference is reasonably noticeable though. Oh, I took some extra damage there. Let's slow this down a bit. Obliviating has a red focal point of fire, where pulse has a blue focal point of fire. That is the only visual difference between the two, as hopefully you'll be able to see in just a moment. I apologise for damaging the hull. Wait, there we go, fixing it. There we go, pulse is now firing. You gotta love the fire rate of this sometimes. Oh, it might be that pulse fires in its cycles a little bit slower. Come to think of it. Or that may have just been my own key and touches. Right. Now, we'll stop with that in a second and go with something else. Ooh! I wasn't ready. And there it goes. Well, that is the Juggernaut array. Looks magnificent. Most people will only ever see it from that angle, unless you are witnessing a ship firing it. It is beautiful. I have to say, it's one of my favorite aspects. The amount of detail they went into here to figure out, let's have full sort of plasma streams of energy breaking away from the energy blast. A forward wave of motion, essentially ionizing the gases in space to make it visible. Create this cloud-like effect as it goes forwards. Presumably the phase part of this weapon disrupting the phase of the said space particles, which causes this effect. It's well thought out and it's beautiful, and I love more that there are little glints and particles behind, just left behind by it, of areas where it's hit small space debris and they're burnt up with all the energy and they're now just really bright before they basically disintegrate. It's excellent, and the fact that it's slightly behind as well, not brilliantly, but comes up behind the ship, also shows that there's a backlash from this weapon, which just makes it feel even more powerful. Phaser Juggernaut array, people, done extremely well. And then you have this. Whoops. This right now firing with its own particle stream, clearly doing a very similar effect, and straight from the deflector, luckily just missing the saucer there, is the console. The Confederation's light of civilization. Whatever the console was called. It's quite good looking. Love how it's a... well, it automatically has the aesthetic of an overload phaser array. But then you get that. And that is just beautiful. Looks completely like a phaser lance has been fired in a continuous stream of energy. The one downside I've always thought there is to the phaser lance is the fact that when you fire it, that appearance is there for just a short period of time. This feels far more powerful, full of raw energy. I love it. And now I need to get some screenshots of this. What a problem. It's a beauty to see fired. And if it's lucky and it destroys the enemy, you get a good old extra ripple out of it. Well, Galaxy, are you good? So now that those bits of visuals are over, let's get to a version of Demo Record where it doesn't have silly banners in the way everywhere. Thank you to Augment Dictator Games for the bit of advice and support he gave me in getting this set up. God, sometimes you just need the right bit of information. Well, hello Confederation's Razer. Confederation's World Razer, should I say. You are a beautiful ship with a lot of fine details. And I really do mean a lot. So this could be long-winded. I apologise in advance. Let's start with some familiar details and work towards the more new details, shall we? Starting with familiar, we'll go with the deflector. Now ordinarily this deflector dish is in, well, a much bigger area. And the designer could have gone and slapped it on here and made it bigger on the front nose. But I honestly feel like that would have looked extremely out of place. And I really do mean extremely out of place. If they had kept the deflector in the same sort of size profile, I don't think it would have worked. I think the saucer would have looked terrible. But slimming the saucer down, I think stretching it a little, but it may not be stretched by very much. Shrinking the dish by just a little bit, which I have definitely done to get it to fit there. Excuse me. It looks absolutely magnificent, and the way the blues and the purples and the white sort of harmonize together behind that copper dish just makes it look so powerful as well. I love it. And I will admit, when I initially saw the World Razer in the painting, my brain went, oh, don't like that. Don't like that one bit. Straight up, I was straight negative on it. The Galaxy class was my first Enterprise. I'm going to be a bit defensive over it. Seeing it in game, seeing it flushed out like this, and then getting to see the concept art that led to this and the painting completely changed my opinion. I understand how people can get defensive over their first Enterprises, such as the Connie and the JJ Prize. I honestly thought I was going to be as negative in first place. Thank you for changing that. From this lovely deflector, let's look down here. Now, I've seen various comments about what this could be. It intrigues me as well, because there have been some very interesting comments. Shout out to Trek Yards and their Facebook page, or 101 Starships, where they actually pull up discussions on ships and that. On there, a lot of people were discussing that this could be a hangar bay, a large sort of clamshell hangar, or something of similar refinement. I'm inclined to disagree, but only because of how the support struts seem to be very solid. Plus, if we look back here, we can see the hangar bays built in, as they were originally already defined and sorted out. Well, I say originally defined, actually, side note, Hangar Bay 1 and Hangar Bay 2 are not the same as on the Galaxy class. 50 points if you know what the difference is. I'm not going to tell you. Now, I'm inclined to believe that what we're looking at here is an observation point. Or something that I did see mentioned, that it could be potentially similar to like 10 Forward, but on a much grander scale. Now, there is the opinion as well that it could be a combative or war zone launching fighters. I could maybe agree with that, maybe, but at the same time I'm still inclined to argue because the structure seems far too fixed, except for the metal sheets. Now, the lower metal sheets do look like they're designed to move like a clamshell does. So I'm imagining that that is exactly what they do, but instead of opening up for a hangar, it's opening up for an observation, and members of the Confederation can stand upon this point, look out, and savour the destruction on the world below. Watch it burn, completely embraced by the illuminating fires of salvation. Do I make them sound evil yet? No, I simply view this as a possible observation point. And yes, I would then argue that those, well, 14 window-like slats at the top there, well, if you look up on the neck, you know where I'm going with this. I don't see the Confederation being that smart if you think about what they did to Earth itself. So I could easily see it as that's an observation platform below, torpedo tubes on top, and above that is engineering and armory. And of course those in engineering would also wish to be able to see the destruction below. So they have a bit that can open as well, so they can look out and go, we did it. We crushed the alien scum. It's a brighter human future. What do you mean we sound like the Dominion? What? No, we're wiping everything out. We're not enslaving it and controlling it, we're just destroying it. We're not like the Dominion. For me to take a complete mick out of it all. Actually, just one side note though. I had hoped, and I would love to hear if any of you wish to argue or agree with me on this one. There is another option for this. This shell that's over where the original deflector would be. And that is that the deflector is still there. Many people have commented that this ship would saucer separate, and as I will show you later, you can do in game. But if this section has the navigational deflector on it, and this section has the warp nacelles and capacity, well, you have the ability to protect yourself at warp from debris, and you have the ability to physically go to warp, but neither have the ability to warp on their own. So my argument, and the summarization behind the Federation Razer as I have made with my kit bash, is there is a deflector here. And the engineering / battle hull is still exactly that. It can go in the battle, fight, and come back at warp and recover the saucer. While the saucer in the Confederation's variant, with all of its armaments, all it would need is a warp sustainer. For those of you that don't know what that is, within Star Trek you don't actually need warp nacelles to go, to be at warp. You need them to go to warp, but if this whole ship went to warp and the saucer section had a warp sustainer, it could separate at warp, release the two bubbles, and then adjust their vectors so that they come in on different approaches. A warp sustainer can allow you to temporarily drop out of warp and then re-enter warp so long as it's done quickly, and this would mean pincer movements would be capable from a ship like this, literally making this ship the ultimate single ship for multi-ship combat. Because let's be fair, it's going to have fighters upon it as well. I say single ship for multi-ship combat in Ultimate. I'm basically saying it's a trump card. It would have the ability to, say, go against a Vulture class. Vulture's going, let's go one-on-one. And they go, okay. You're against my World Razer. Oops, I'm now two ships. You're getting attacked from both sides. What are you going to do about it? It's still one-on-one. We're one ship in two pieces. Yeah, you could see the Confederation doing that, right? From that infamiliarity to other familiarities. Well, pylons. Pylons on the rear of the engineering hull. Well, let's be straight here. The full engineering hull basically has the same original aesthetic, which I do like. There were some moderate changes. For example, the engineering hull has been slim, teeny bit. The pylons are now flat at the back rather than having a slight curve, and they actually do not hold the nacelles anywhere near as high. to give you an idea, there's the current height. Whoops. There's the current height. There's the actual height. We have just raised to the height of the galaxy nacelles. It's a tiny bit lower, but I feel like it really adds to this ship's design. Because as much as some of you will say it doesn't, it lowers the profile of the ship quite substantially. The nacelles are less of a target, and it means that the only heavy, easy to hit section is that dead central spine near the neck. That is the largest profile in the entire ship, at least lengthways. Widthways, well, yeah, engineering hole is not helping. So, from there, hello torpedo tube and beam arrays. Let's start to talk about some level of unfamiliar. Lovely impulse array, holding a very similar aesthetic to before, but a couple of new impulse arrays, which, to be fair, is a very good point. The original saucer was there to protect families. The idea of the Galaxy class, although we never really saw it do this in, say, the Dominion War and that, because I think they forgot. But the Galaxy class, whenever it goes into combat or a dangerous situation, it's supposed to separate. And the saucer section is supposed to leave with the families, protecting them, while the primary battle hull goes into combat. And I like to headcanon around it, saying that when they went into Dominion War, every one of those Galaxy classes had already evacuated all the families and were functioning with a skeleton crew and just the raw power of a Galaxy class. Excuse me. However, with that being said, the argument can be thrown up here of this beautiful Galaxy class that, well, it wouldn't have had the families to begin with. That's why they've cut out so much of the hull. It's not necessary. And when this ship goes into combat, that saucer separation will give the saucer, those impulse arrays will give the saucer separation and the saucer itself a lot more versatility and power. It'll be a lot more combat ready, and although it would not be on par with the maneuverability and performance of, say, the Defiant, it's got very similar firepower. And I like that probably too much. Why do you think I'm avoiding talking about firepower? From that, let's talk about stamps. Hello, insignia. I called mine the CSS Raise Me Up because the ship is growing on me. Damn it. We have a lovely hangar bay there, and round to the front we have a very nice nameplate again, right where it should be. Underside, moderately moved, but also not. Yeah, I just did that. I lost the ship. And then two lovely plates along the neck. Sorry, along the pylons and the neck. I love how many people commented that this ship was originally called the CSS. Yeah. I'm in a very weird position with the this ship. When it comes to stats wise, I'm like, it's absolutely amazing, but I also don't like it. It's weird. I have a very weird viewpoint on this ship. Insignia on the nacelles looks very beautiful. I'm very intrigued to have the explanation behind the insignia given to me. I get that it's a delta. I'm trying to understand the star in the middle and the white ring. I want to know the symbolism behind it. That's my biggest question. Yeah, totally biggest question. The nacelles are brilliantly thought out. I will note that one as well. It still has the exposed warp grill at the aft of the nacelle. And the side grills, they're just beefed up. Instead of being the standard slit, which is about the size of this lower half here that's got the little strip coming above it, beefing it up so it's got more potential. I would like to think that this is done so that it can source a separate at warp very easily, just reinforcing that warp bubble. The nacelles themselves are beautiful. Lovely little grills and vents that show obvious clear signs of being able to vent warp plasma, with the pinstriping fitting very nicely into the design. The navigational markers are well placed as well. The underside of the nacelle feels beautifully connected. It doesn't feel like janked on. And the personal favourite, as much as I love the Galaxy Basards, I actually like these Basards more. And I don't know if it's because they're armoured, because they're protected, what it is. Excuse me again. No, I just really like them. And I like the fact that that housing isn't in full connection to the Basard shroud shielding, which says to me that it was almost an afterthought, and that what we're actually looking at here is a slotted on piece that has come after they've initially designed the warp nacelle and the warp Basard and gone, actually, it could use some armour. Oh, do we have to redesign the whole front of the nacelle? Nah, we can just slot this on and clap it in place. It looks clipped on. It looks like it's modular, so it's easy to replace as a result. And I like it. I've got no problems with it. Okay. Hello, Bridge. Bridge is looking very nice and just as you'd expect it to be. Same for the Captain's Yacht of the Galaxy class. Looking very good. I am very interested to say about what is and isn't there. Did we pull it down here? No. It's weapons time. Oh, it's weapons time. With one massive heavy phaser. That is obviously a phaser cannon or phaser emitter. Now, I like the idea that they have the practical phaser strips in place, which will give this ship massive versatility in weapon fire. And I like how many of them there is. I mean, just on the upper side, we are talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 phaser strips on just the upper side of this ship. Go through and look up, and we have a further 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total of 18 phaser strips, giving a decent profile of firing arcs. Shall we keep that number in mind, the good old-fashioned 18? Because along with those 18 phaser strips, we have 2 phaser cannons on top, plus another 2 phaser cannons either side of the heavy phaser cannons, bringing in the grand total of 6 that you can see from the top profile. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all connecting around the saucer. We have an additional 6. Beautiful. Go to where the old deflector is, and there's another 4. We're up to 16. What do you want to classify these as? Are these phasers or torpedo tubes? Well, let's ignore them for a second, shall we? Keep this easy. Hello, back at the ship. Are you hiding any weapons? Well, yes. Hello there, how are you doing? Good to see you, an extra 4. Glad to know we got plenty of weapons, and they thought about protecting the aft. Maybe not as heavily as forward firing, but well, why would the World Razer be running? At least it has 1 torpedo tube on the aft, hey? Okay. All the phaser strips protecting the aft, one phaser one torpedo tube and 4 heavy phaser cannons. Then we have these lovely little modular designs. Now people are complaining about the cutouts. Whatever in this case, I say, because it looks to me like it's designed to be modular. So right now this ship has got just the 2 attachments, but maybe it can have much bigger attachments with much more firepower. Maybe with those extra slots and all in use, this thing can have 2 massive spinal lances added to the ship at either point of the saucer. Did you imagine that? This ship had a Juggernaut array and 2 spinal lances, which is something the Confederation would do. But ignoring it, we have 6 here. Possible of, that is 12 unknown weapon sources. Add your own thought into that as you will, what they could be. And as I am arguing for it, we have 1 torpedo tube aft, a guaranteed 1 forward, but I think there's 14 there. So I'm literally just going to dub this ship as having, yes, 16 torpedo tubes. And this ship comes to a grand total of armaments, visible armaments, of 66 weapon emplacements, excluding the Juggernaut array and the console that comes with this ship, as those are not visible to this design visually. 66. The last time I was counting a number so blooming insane was the Giorgio class. Do you guys remember that absolute beauty of a TMP era ship? Yes, we're looking at a war vessel, and I absolutely love her. So, with all these details looked at, it's time to step away and let it pull away. So swapping the mode again, let's have a beautiful look at her separation. Oh, what were we saying about weapon emplacements? Well, there it is. Lovely and separated. Good to see she can do that, eh? Well, we'll make things a little bit better. Just a quick dash and look. Note to self, extra phaser strip has been revealed here. The battle bridge is somewhat visible, and I appreciate that. Though I always did think the battle bridge was more into this area than actually on top, but actually the way Federation design works, it would make sense. Seeing the additional escape pods here is also very nice. It shows that they actually considered, you know what, people might have to escape from this ship. Yeah. So those are the escape pods for everyone in the neck. Yes. And overall, we're looking at a very good, very true to form Galaxy spinal connection point. Where you gone? Come over here. Now, to make this a little bit better, if we come to the underside of here, we also have an little culling point. Now, I was inclined to initially call that another phaser strip, but if you'll notice, it's actually a notch that allows for the phaser strip to sink in. How much detail did Cryptic think about? Now, it may just be that it's missing its texture and it is meant to be another phaser strip, in which case I'd ask how the hell the two go next to each other. But the fact that this looks more like that phaser strip fits into this place, and it's got all the anchors, oopsie daisy, all of the anchors in the right spots. I do this too easily, don't I? Yink. Honestly, Cryptic, your source of separation in the Galaxy class, perfect. So let's get over and take a look at customization. And why don't you let me control the saucer in separation mode? Sorry. I absolutely adore the look of the saucer, and the one thing I really want from STO is Nebula class saucer separation and saucer separation control, so you can control the saucer section instead of the main hull. Actually no, I want them to put the saucer in the game and go, here's the Confederation Defiant class. Am I giving you any ideas yet? It's okay. Cryptic, all you need to do is remove these cannons and put Ri'shad collectors there. Then you've got a new ship. That would be really lazy, but I would love it. So let's get to customization, shall we? So let's have a quick look at customization. And first of all, it bugs me, so I'm just going to bring it up. It's pretty much a Galaxy class, but it's using the Type 1 hull. Quick fix that and we get a much better looking Galaxy Razer. Just be aware of that when you're messing about with it down here in customization. Now, to add to this, to throw on top, the Galaxy class and the Confederation's World Razer is in the same grouped family, so you can of course customize between them. You have all the hull references to take, so each of the legendary hulls are available to this ship, all looking very, very nice. As you'd expect from hulls that aren't that old in the game. Yes, I'm going down and oops, it got a bit aged. A little bit better, but it's still aged. That's very nice. Best of the types, well, best of the old types, we got Type 5, looking quite nice. Type 7A is very cute on this ship, I will be honest, if maybe a little bit too white. Type 8B and Type 8 are all very nice for this ship. But what I really want to get to the subject of is, as much as you can customize and create your own variation of the Galaxy class to your specific tastes, I call this the Galaxy Razer or the World Razer. Unfortunately, you can't take the World Razer components and put them on either the Nebula class or the Galaxy X. Now, I understand for the Galaxy X, as that would require an additional piece to the neck here, and I will note to you guys that hopefully you can see it when I do this. The Galaxy neck and the World Razer neck are not identical. They're similar but not identical. The Galaxy Razer's neck is, although completely the same in technical look, the model has been lowered and moved forwards a little bit. So that torpedo tube itself will disappear into the hull. If I pick the right one to show it with. Dink. See what I mean? So, yes, I get that certain components are the same, but considering that they've just shifted the model, I'm not understanding why they couldn't just shift the model for the Galaxy Dread's neck and create a Galaxy Dreadnought version of this, just without a lance here. The lance component could easily go straight into that. I don't see how that's a big issue and why they couldn't have done that, or why they couldn't have blended the two models together and had the neck not changed at the front but changed at the back for the Galaxy Dread. And they could joke and say the lance's power is coming through the deflector dish. It would have been feasible for them to do. Maybe it's coming in the future. The Nebula, though, is the one I've got the biggest argument to, because the Nebula is, you are literally taking that away and connecting it to the saucer. Now, I know they're probably thinking, well, all that extra hole there is going to be a problem with the deflector dish, but it's got a deflector right there, and the World Razer doesn't have a deflector. Excuse me. So, if you look at the way that shape there, that bit there on the galaxy hull is formed, and the shape of that ridge there, I would say the concept artist behind this wonderful design knew what he was doing. Because that would lock into that, and then you don't have the issues. Just flip the nacelles upside down and place them underneath, you know what they do with the standard galaxy, and slap on the mission pod as they do normally, literally the way they normally put the pod on the back, and you have the whole thing sorted. So STO, Nebula Razer, when? Look, I'm just saying, I really want the Science Spearhead version of the Nebula class. Can we please just get that? I love the Nebula class, I love the Galaxy class, it's a thing. Okay. Vanity Shield time, guys? Oh, Vanity Shields. How you are so missing every goddamn time. But we have most of them here. Whoops. Let's take a clash. First of all, the Borg. Whoops, sorry. The Borg Vanity Shield. I'm hovering on the wrong one first of all. Why am I starting off with the Borg? Well, because Biol is very pretty, but the Borg I think is going to pop, and I want to start on a high note. Oh, it does. It feels like the ship has been assimilated. Or it feels like it actually feels less Borg to me, and feels more like what would happen if the Confederation encountered the Borg and went, we're taking all of your technology and we're going to enslave your race. Ooh, we have found out that you're all controlled by one hive? Haha, here's a program to give us complete domination over you. Mwahaha, Confederation bollocks. And then the Confederation start making the Borg pump out ships of their designs, and this is the result you get. Borg produced Confederation ship. It's pretty. Kind of like the deflector actually. Then we're going to possibly denote and go to, I'm going to estimate not looking as good, Discovery Vanity Shield. Just before we go to the Biol. Because the Biol can fix this. And yeah, the deflector doesn't look right, does it? The material in the deflector's copper plate just looks off. Okay, so that's 100% confirmed to me that I actually need to deduct. Hang on. Ba 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 ba. Deduct 14 and add only 2. Well, no, why am I adding 2? Don't need to add 2. It's 52. There are 52 weapon emplacements on this ship. Those are definitely not torpedo tubes. Because if they were, then it would have had the goddamn effect that the torpedo tubes have. I can't zoom in on it right now, but you guys can see the torpedo tube on the neck, yeah? And the way it looks on the aft, yeah. Those weapon emplacements, I said that I didn't know what they were. Right there in the cutouts on the saucer. They have the same visual effect. They are torpedo tubes. In this game, or at least in Star Trek Online headcanon, they are torpedo tubes. It has been confirmed. They are firing massive quantum torpedoes. Or rapid fire quantum torpedoes. Maybe rapid fire transphasics. They stole the technology. I say this, but then I've just realised that these cannons down here also have the same effect. So are they torpedo tubes? And then just these ones are phaser cannons? What about on the back here? Yeah, there's a distinct difference. I think it's either two types of particle cannon. Maybe those ones are firing ion blasts instead, disabling ships so they can rip them to shreds while they're disabled. Or... yeah, I'm not sure anymore. I'm very confused about the weapons on this ship. Bio... ooh, no, I didn't look around properly, did I? Actually, the warp grills look really good in this. And, yep, I knew it. The Bassards were going to be done wrong. The front of the Bassards is fine, because the design fits in there perfectly. But whenever there's too big of an area for the Bassards aesthetic of the Discovery ships, it never looks right on those Bassards, and I hate that. Bayo, fixed it for me. That just feels menacing. I like it a lot, actually. The way the blue for the warp grills as well is that more murky, cloudy blue. The whole ship just feels menacing. Like it. Last time we saw a Juggernaut, Emerald Chain Juggernaut. Ooh! I was thinking there wasn't many Juggernauts. No, actually there's 4 Juggernauts in the game, isn't there? And I'm not going to lie, the Emerald Chain Juggernaut suits me very well. It's kind of an issue. I have all 4 Juggernauts at the moment. Now down to 3 again, actually. I have all 4 if you count the triple test server. Right. First note that I'm going to say here is that the way it looks makes it feel very aged, very beaten. It's like this, we've gone way forward in time now, and this is a survivor of the Confederation. The Confederation, we've gone forward, the Confederation has now failed, it's been defeated by an alliance of forces, say the Dominion, the Borg, the Vaudois, the Iconians. They've all gotten fed up with the Confederation. Joint forces and basically gone, get them out. And this is one of the few surviving ships. That's what this looks like. Majorly outdated though. Right, Emperor's Vanity Shield. This should look good. In my opinion, this should look very good. Seeing as the Mirror Universe and the Confederation Universe aren't all that different. Now, let's be fair. The only difference between Confederation and Terran is timing. That is literally it. Well, no, I've got theories behind it why they are different from the Mirror. But I think it's more down to Mirror being xenophobic and Confederation got very panicky. Obviously, the Confederation would have had to realise how bad humans were. And as such, in order to reunite humanity, they had to make it feel like the only good thing in the universe was humanity. And they kept that propaganda up until all humans believed that yes, they are the only good thing in the universe. And hence the Confederation was born. I take it back, this is the lone survivor. No, actually, no, I do still think the Emerald Chain Juggernaut hull would be the lone survivor, but looking at the Fakiri hull, I could also see this like being a ship from hell. It's come out of hell and it's like, I will end you all. Wahaha! Bite me. Okay. Did I just do that? Yes, I did. Next up, Ferengi Vanity Shield. When they need to do some aggressive negotiations and bartering. Oh. Oh, I really like the way the deflector looks. Oh, that on its own, that is a beautiful look. Yes, fly for me. Oh. Oh, I've got to just say, I aesthetically really like the way that looks. This is beginning to make me wonder if I shouldn't be using demo record for this stuff. I don't know if I can. Be worth a test. Hook! Bring that saucer back to me. Bring it... I love how it's still got the Ferengi hull on it. And now it doesn't. Half of it works for me, but the other half is like, but does it? I feel like it works in the saucer section, but nowhere else. Next up, oh god, Kelvin Divergence. Let's whitewash a beautiful ship. I mean, the deflector looks okay. Yeah, it looks okay. But the rest of it feels, especially the facades, feeling really off. It's like everything's been washed out. Don't even like that a little bit. Medical Verity Shield. We are the Confederation. We have come to cleanse your lives. Save your lives, we mean. We're here to save your lives with death. I mean, the deflector looks good. I think I'd feel safe. I'd feel safe if the secondary hull was turning up. But if the forward hull, the saucer section turned up, I'd be like, I'm gonna die. They're not here to save my life from this. I don't know. Bat lives stuck in my chest. No, they're here to shove it through further. Platinum. Hello, Ooh, Platinum looks good. Platinum looks really good. Hello, Platinum Hull. Normally I would say hulls like this can be a bit overdone in certain aspects, but no, this one is popping. This one looks really good. Especially the old deflector, that looks the best. Section 31. As you'd expect from the deflector area, it's now dimmed. Even the facades are dimmed, but still have a bit of a red glow to them, that's funny. The warp nacelles look very powerful with that ostensibly insane extra glow. Yes, let's turn bloom effect up to 11! But I like it. I could see Section 31 coming up with this. Like, when Picard came back and he had all of his information that he came back with, and he's talked about this ship, Section 31 would have heard it and gone, oh, it's actually an interesting concept. Let's build our own. And yeah, you get the Section 31 Galaxy class, and it's it's my Federation Razer idea. With a third nacelle and a spinal lance added in because Section 31. They will protect us with violence. Okay, Zenkefi. Zenkefi, when I do the little mini Vija, the old compiler, I know you are going to look great, but Well, I'll give you credit. You're half good. At least you don't have the discovery issue on the facades. It's an interesting look, I'll give it that. I'm not sure if I actually like it, but it's interesting. Jerfface. Go fuck yourself. Oh, excuse me. That was very nasty of me, wasn't it? Well, the saucer looks alright. Love the shininess, but it ends there. You raise me down. Juggernaut, what was that threat I gave? Oh, yes. Forward simulation. Well, good. That's on the back there where it should be. Looking very nice. I like the fact that that's built into the actual impulse engine there. And it looks like it fit. Oh, no, it doesn't quite clip into place. So it doesn't look perfect, but it's close. Can someone explain to me why the deflector is... Why are you not on the deflector? Did the ball see this ship, assimilate it and go, that deflector doesn't look like... I think the deflector's in the wrong place. One of three. We're going to build a new deflector on this section where it would be on a normal Galaxy class, and one of three is like, yes, we shall. We cannot understand this either, so let's do it. No, I'm taking too much of a piss here. I understand why it's there, because this is part of the Galaxy family in game, but Cryptic, now you've made it so that I literally could not fly this ship without putting a deflector dish there if I was going to assimilate it. Luckily, I probably wouldn't. Up next, and we will go to say hello to the Bajorans. Oops, undo that one and undo that one. Thank you. Hello, Bajorans. Did you enjoy running into the Confederation and... Oh, could you imagine if the Confederation actually went up against the Bajorans? I reckon it would be much like the Occupation. The Bajorans become freedom fighters, they keep fighting on strong, then a ship like this turns up and goes, Bajorans, you are just too much goddamn trouble. Wipe the planet out. Sir, but they could make good... No, wipe the planet out. They're too much trouble. Sorry, Bajorans are just trouble. To anyone who wants to conquer them, they are trouble. Do you think I like the Bajorans? Ooh, temptation. Right, up next we have Counter Command. Which I'm not going to lie, actually looks good. I wasn't expecting it to look good, but it looks good. And I think with the actual Galaxy hull, it's popping a bit better. Maybe the Type 7A would look better with it, but no, I really feel like the Galaxy hull is great with this one. Next up, Delta Alliance. I already know it's going to have a problem, and I already know I'm not going to like it, so let's just focus on the saucer for a second. You even killed the fucking saucer. It's that green to black, really in a pleasing aesthetic. Does it really look that good? Because when it's on things like the Bassard and it's just a circle, it looks stupid to me. What's going on with the warp grills? It's like they're... I can't make that joke. That joke is very dark and not very polite to people with disabilities, much like myself. So I'm not going to make that joke. I'm just going to say it seems like the warp coils are acting very ADHD when it's fed up, tired, bored, and just cannot be asked. It's there doing shit, but it's also there like, why? Fuck off. Much like my brain when I look at any time Cryptic goes, hey, new lockbox ship. Yeah, I'm getting off this thing before I end up ranting. Oh, my ADHD's now having a buzz. This is fun. So with that buzz, we go to Dyson and we're like, oh, look at it. Oh, you are pretty. Oh, you are very pretty. Oh, my. That works really well. I love the skin. Skin looks... The surface skin just feels almost alive. I like the way this pod on the underside of the cutout is that it still has the Galaxy class coloration element added to it, but then it keeps going with the Dyson aesthetic. The facades and the warp coils look beautiful with this white hull. Purple stripe lining looks amazing. That's a little bit too much blue. Ah, my eyes are blind! Oh, dearie me. There's a little bit of purple that's been added in there as well, just there above the deflector. I'm not sure how clear it is. It's also around the weapons on the side cutouts, those big boomies. Yeah, it's a bit dark purple. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, next up we go to... Which one was next? Oh yeah, Gamma Synergist. Let's go, Vanguard Jem'Hadar! What are these red symbols underneath? Deflector looks really nice. That's looking pretty. Good combination. I'm not 100%... I'm a bit weird, and I'll try to explain. The hull looks gold to me, right? But it's a very pale gold, like washed out gold. And if I'm completely honest, Cryptic, excellent choice. But could I ask you to take this gold hull plating and go with the concept of you pull that gold plating in place of everything that's currently sort of got purple hull plating, not the glows, but the actual hull plates itself. Make them purple. Gold. Make those purple elements gold. And then turn the rest of the ship to a sort of darkest silver chrome sort of look. And just go with dark silver or a greyish silver. And to me, that would probably end up being my favourite hull aesthetic. Go on, Cryptic, I've given you a whole vanity shield idea there. Even if I'm the only one that buys it. Oh, no, I really wish there was a silver gold hull, so we need it! Did I look all the way around you? Did I look? Anyone liking the gold trim that's on the hangar bays? No, just me? Okay. No. You are so pretty. Okay, next up we have Lucari Restoration. I really do need to go back and redo visual reviews on so many ships now that I've got all these hull types in. Oh, you are disgustingly Tron. I like the way the impulse arrays look, but you are so Tron it's going out of fashion. And I don't think the gold that they've used, or the yellow, because it's not really gold, works in this position. So no! You get out of here, make her resilient. I say gold, and then we actually physically get yellow in place of what... It was probably trying to look gold, but doesn't quite achieve it. Hello? Okay, I like the effect that it goes for on the ship, but at the same time, I don't feel like it works on the ship. Nice try. Let's go Folian, the very first one I ever got, and my actual favourite. Why was Folian the very first I ever got? Because I love the Folians. Bite me. They are among my favourite races. I want an upgraded version of this hull. It's so pretty. It looks so good. Give me more! Right. Now that we have those, let's go prevailing. And since we're going prevailing, let's also put the competitive engines visuals up. So we can see that in there too, see how that looks. That is oddly appealing. Okay, can we just say those impulse arrays look way more powerful now? Is this the first time I've seen the prevailing hull and, well, sorry, the competitive hull, and I've actually straight liked it? Oh, good God. Romulan. Oh, good God. Oh, God. Unlike the Jerfface, I'm very, very appealing. I'm very appealing? No, it's very appealing. Come on. Shoot myself. Hello, let's have some fun. Get back in control, cause you just noticed. What? What? Looking good though, looking good, and I do like it. So next up, Temporal. Temporal Defense Intuitive Regenerative Shield Array. That's why I stopped saying the full names of these shields. Tongue twister. Oh. Oh, I like it. That's new. Normally I'm very standoffish when it comes to this specific vanity shield. I sort of like it, but at the same time I don't. I don't know if it's because this is supposed to be a temple ship, but I really like the way that looks. Okay, without any further confusion of myself, Terran Task Force. And then, just like that, bonk! Sorry, here's my favourite. Wow! The deflector is the only issue point so far, with that weird blue on the copper area that makes me go, what's going on there? But otherwise, everything else is making up for that big time. The warp coils, the basards, that purplish blue glow rack that rings near the basards, the weapon emplacements. It feels ready. I really like this. Next up, you can go, sorry, you know, for anyone that wants me to put on the green shields for this one, the dielectric oscillating, sorry, not doing it. Not to a Galaxy class. Juggernaut resilient. See, this one is aged. This one doesn't look very good anymore. But it still looks better than that damn green one does. Deflector, you can see some aging in it. You can also tell that with the update to Galaxy aesthetics, it doesn't have the same look as it used to have on a Galaxy class, which I quite enjoy. Having that piece of protective copper shielding in there just makes it pop and look good. Interesting green element there within the basards. I really wish they'd give this a texture update. Doesn't have to be a super overhaul, just a texture update, because this is still one of my favourite hulls. And aesthetically, the only difference between this hull and, well, I'll try to show it as best as I can. 1, 2. They're aesthetically the same, so literally all I'm asking them to do is take this hull and make the gold silver. And you've got an updated variant, whoopsie daisy, get off this ship, of this one. Literally. So final up, Riemann, the Marmite shields. Which will it be today? I hate it. Yeah, I don't like it. Too many random black points. Like, to me, it looks like missing hull texture. Making it just straight black, and at this point, I don't think it's missing hull texture anymore. I genuinely think that was intended. But, Cryptic, how the hell did you think having just straight pure void black was going to be a good idea on a ship which has aesthetic hull? It's on the flipping... No, get off this ship. Get lost. God, I actually think that was... No. Oh, that triggered me. That was nasty triggering. Hey guys, guess what? That vanity shield can go itself when it comes to this ship. No. Oh. Fuck off. With that, let's wrap this up. Terrence Article is definitely my favourite vanity shield. Straight up opinions on this ship. Visually speaking, I know a lot of people don't like the fact that the deflector got moved. There are people that have got a lot of criticisms over the changes for this ship. However, in conclusion, I've got to say this. Give it a chance. Maybe straight up visually it's not appealing to you. But in game, it's easy to fix the non-appealing segments. Yes, I still prefer the Galaxy class to the World Razer, but the Galaxy class is my first Enterprise. I think that... Well, just look how people talk about the Connie. No bloody A, B, C, or D. Or NX-01, or JJ, or Disco Refit. Fudge them all. When it comes to the Connie, you'll notice people that started with TOS almost always prefer the original. Well, yeah, I'm very much the same. With every variant of the Galaxy class ever introduced to Star Trek Online, and I will admit some of them do look quite nice. I do like the extended neck on certain variants, and other variants, Andromeda, look absolutely cack in my opinion, but nothing beats the Galaxy. However, this ship, of all Galaxy variants in this game, takes second place with me. So let's just say that says something, okay? Obviously when I say Galaxy variants, I'm not including all Nebula looks and all Dreadnought looks, because guess which ones take first, second and third in that situation? They're all Galaxies. This ship, for its looks, God, I'm actually going to be embarrassed if the person who behind this ship is watching right now Sorry, if the person that's behind the concept of this ship is watching right now, that's going to make me feel a little bit funny, because I hope he doesn't take this too harshly. I cannot give this 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. But where I would have originally, when I saw the painting, given it 1 out of 5, I'm now going to give it 4 out of 5. Yeah, seeing it in game, seeing it flushed out with all the detailing there, and admittedly, seeing the concept art as well, it's very much boosted that look, because the concept art gave me a much better image of the way the ship looked. This ship has gone from visually disgusting me to making me visually love it. I could see how it fits in Star Trek, in the Prime timeline, as much as it fits perfectly, and it really does perfectly fit the Confederation. It would fit into the Prime timeline if you just take the approach of switch the saucer, and then the sails. Switch those two elements with the Galaxy class is normal, and you've got a more combative, war-ready variant of the Galaxy class. The Galaxy class is an exploration cruiser, however, so you'd have to give me some reasoning to why the Federation has gone, shit, we need to build a warship. Do you want to pick the Borg, the Iconians, the Undine? Take your pick, one of them can be your reasons for me. Because I don't think the Dominion quite get that. Clearly they didn't need to refit them for the Dominion. We had Galaxy classes against the Dominion. Maybe if it prolonged, it would have happened. But yeah, this ship is getting 4 out of 5 from me in the visual aesthetics. Customization, Star Trek Online, you've done pretty well, but I'm still a bit pissy about other things. So you're getting 3 out of 5. I'm mostly pissy the fact that I can't seem to put the legendary hull on this ship. I am very wondering why I cannot put the legendary hull on this ship. Okay, that's half the reason why it's been ripped down. The other half of the reason is the fact that it would not have taken a lot, because I know Cryptic built the model for this. It would not have taken a lot. Well, I say I know Cryptic built the model. Considering it only showed up in the show as a painting, you didn't really see the World Razer itself, I don't believe they got it from Paramount. So if Cryptic is the one that built the model, then I find it very hard to believe that they didn't have the time or the ability to actually flush out the design completely so that the Nebula and the Dreadnought could also use these components. Especially considering they put this in the effing lockbox once again. With that being said, guys, what is your thoughts on this ship? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Or do you despise it? Let's be diplomatic in the comments section and discuss our thoughts on this ship. And can I just also say a massive thank you to people currently credited on screen. Because without them, this would not have happened. No, being straight up serious, this physically would not have happened without them. So, massive thank you to them. If you wish to join them and help support this channel's growth and the funding of this channel with its expenses, the links are in the description. Be it one-time donation or becoming a Patreon. Though I would hold off a little bit on Patreon, as I am currently working on figuring out proper and decent benefits. Oh, and if you're interested in getting this ship, I hope you guys went over and looked at Kitchen Witchin on Twitter. Till next time, guys. Remember, sod the Confederation, live long and prosper, and respect everyone. What is it Spock would say? We all know the infinite line. Ciao.